I remember going into the room and I would call his name and there was no response. And normally, after a little while, you know, he would sort of at least open his eyes and I would know he was okay, just having a rest in. And when there was nothing, I got worried. And at some point during the night, they came out to me and said, basically, there was only a 50-50 chance. And that was the first indication to me that it was so serious. And I remember the next day they did a brain scan to see whether there was any basic brain function left, and later we were told there wasn't and nothing could be done, basically.
Nobody could have anticipated the turnout. All of Dublin stopped. People gathered around that church and there was real, genuine mourning. It was as though Parnell had died.
I remember Noel Ginnity saying to me at the funeral, if this guy had the slightest comprehension of how loved he was in this city, you know, he wouldn't have died on us.
I was outside the chapel at Whitehall when he was being buried. I was rushing to a meeting in Dublin. And I had hoped to be there for the Mass, and I always regretted not letting the meeting go. I always regretted not getting out and just being there and paying my own wee bit of personal homage. And you could see the throngs of people gathered.
Luke's singing, particularly his ability to deliver a song, is something that will sustain and will be something that future folk artists will always look back to as a reference and as an inspiration.
Well, I would have him as one of the great interpreters of songs because of the tack he took.
Which should make us really regard those recordings. Extraordinary voice, extraordinary, generous man who turned so much on its head in this country.
I think it's wrong to iconize people. You know, obviously he was just an ordinary person with his faults and his flaws like the rest of us, and I think, you know, we sometimes commit the error of putting people up on pedestals when they're dead. But I do think it's true to say that he kept faith with whatever being Irish is.
Then the old triangle could go jingle, jangle.
There hasn't been even a young voice in Ireland that's come anywhere close to that area that Kelly defined.